Hi guys, so I'm going to be checking out the new iPhones. I have an iPhone XS, I know, had it for every 9 years, and I just wanted to check out, see what the new features are, see what everyone's raving about, and see if they're in good quality enough for me to upgrade. Me, personally, I just want a fancy camera, and to have really good battery life, well, at least better battery life than what my current phone has, and work the best that it needs to for me to record my videos, take photography, and be my mobile device. I usually don't upgrade until like every 4 or 5 years now, because phones have been getting very expensive. I remember back in the day when I used to buy a phone every single year, but that was back when phones used to be about $200 to $400, and now we're looking at thousands of dollars, and even the Blackberries are like $2,000. Like, it's wild. So here I go. The store right here. Trying to check out the iPhone 16 Pro. Different colors. I'm doing good. I'm recording a video at the same time.
Need any help looking for anything today?
So I have an iPhone XS, and I'm trying to look at what are like the different features, is it worth it, and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, so from a 10S to like a 16, it's a great jump. So basically, you get new features. And you also get, like, if you're looking to the Pro models, you get a better resolution screen, camera quality, they're all 48 megapixels.
That's what I've been screaming for, and I do a lot of film and photography.
Okay.
So that would be great for me.
Yeah, so you're probably looking at one of the Pro models if you do a lot of film and photography. If you're looking for something like,
I would do one more backup for
the size that you have.
I'm sorry? And then I would potentially do one more backup for good.
Something a little bigger.
Yeah, just to make sure nothing's
These are, where's the 16s?
I am going to be the person.
This is not the 16.
So this would be for like the trade-ins.
Oh, okay. Whoops, no
So
trade-in.
like, for example, if you wanted to look at the storage size, the price would be $1,200 for the 256. 512 will be 1,400, and then 1,600.
At that price, you might as well buy a laptop.
I don't care. I'm waiting for repairing. So you're repairing.
I think I want to test out the gold one. It's titanium black,
That's all right. Let people know.
white titanium.
Have free intro, so basically when it comes to like search.
This is the gold titanium.
Natural
Natural titanium.
Then we have the desert right
We have free introductions where we connect via email or phone and say, hey,
Yeah, I like this
you
one.
use Apple products, how can we help your business grow?
And I'll probably get the 265 gigabyte model.
Yeah, I don't want to grow my business. I want to retire.
Which carrier?
Thank you.
I have AT&T, but I usually pay in full.
Okay. Yeah, we can get you connected to your. Are you the authorized accountant holder?
Yep, I own everything.
That means you pay everything.
Yep, I don't mind. I've been doing that since I was 14 years old.
That's the way to do it.
Oh, I like that you can like change the different colors on here.
Yeah, and then you can arrange the apps basically however you want on the screen. Or like if you download an app, it wouldn't automatically go there. You can just move it around.
Okay, I'm gonna test out this new camera. So this is the new action button.
That's the camera control. So basically, I can show you on this one too.
Yeah.
So basically, if you press it, you'll get the camera option. But then you can also do, you can double tap it, and then you can zoom in from it.
Is this a new phone that you just got?
Just by swiping your finger. And then let's say if you wanted to change like the lighting, do 1, 2, and then you could change the zoom, you can change the depth of the photo. So let's say if you wanted to do less depth, a little more depth.
So I can do it on camera. Well, it's going to continue back and out.
Yeah.
You can also do like different styles as well.
Do you really need it?
So you can do the standard
You should be able to
style,
look it up.
amber.
No.
So it all depends on the lighting when it comes to fucking photography, which you may know.
Yeah, I was recording some videos on my other camera, and I'm like, this weighs too much.
Yeah.
Feels like a sack of potatoes, and the lens is all the way out there.
Yeah.
It's just a lot.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it. There's a lot of stuff.
You can also play around with like the tone, just to make sure you capture
the.
the best quality picture.
Yeah,
Okay.
copy your web order number.
And I like that it's almost the same size as my current phone.
There's a scan bar.
Yeah.
There's like a barcode.
A lot
This
lighter
is-
than the camera too.
Lighter than the camera too.
Okay, if not,
That's the main
you
focus.
just want to go to your settings. I can look at
I got the camera.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Hold on.
I'll sit down right here.
Apple, thank you for contacting Apple ID with
Can
you.
zoom in, out. Let's see how far it zooms in.
Receipt from Apple. 200
Okay, what were you
gigabytes.
looking to exchange it for?
Okay, it gets more
It's making it
pixelated the more that you
vibrate.
zoom
I
in.
put it on speaker. He heard this guy.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to mess with it. Try and figure out what's wrong when it's new. It shouldn't be doing that.
Cinematic mode.
Okay, so what phone model do you
That's
have?
good. The
Just so I know.
autofocus.
16 inches.
Okay, black titanium.
Yes.
256.
Yeah, I think for me the selling point was the camera.
No, this is 512.
512.
What's your thoughts on Apple with innovation versus just making things higher quality?
So they try to make it as innovative as possible. So for example, one of the main features that I like, even though the previous model had like the action button that you can make the shortcut like straight to your camera,
Right.
it was just a little awkward being at the bottom.
So,
Now
what
with
do you need, my serial number then?
with the camera capture, what you have it is like basically like taking a photo from like a Kodak camera. It seems a little more natural than having to press it with your thumb.
Right.
Yeah, so you just come go in and sit back.
But everything else is just about the same, right?
Yeah, and then we have iOS 18 that's about to drop as well. That's going to have feature Apple Intelligence on the back. So it's basically like a more personal like ChatGPT. So basically it's more private, it's geared towards you and what you have on your phone. Like so, let's say if you have something scheduled for tomorrow, you have to pick up somebody at Logan, and then you have dinner reservations later on. You can just say, "Hey Siri, what are my plans for today?" She'll note them down. And then from there, it's a little more natural.
Before you hit the
say, hey, what are directions to look? Matter of fact,
before you hit the backup,
before I go to Logan, take me to the nearest coffee shop.
Yeah, when I
Not to say like, hey,
But I don't know how it
Siri,
could have.
what I like about ChatGPT is that you can personalize it, but I think with Apple Intelligence, it already knows your personality due to all the information that it consumes.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to like the note-taking features, the being able to like not always have to type on your screen all the time because a lot of people have carpal tunnel. So being able to talk into dragging dictation is a big thing.
Another feature I like is like the email.
only
Like for
187
example,
on my
somebody
phone, I
sends
don't
you
know
like
why
10
we
pages of email, and you can just
Simplify it.
you can make it the size, make it a little more readable.
So they told me this is.
And also you can send different types of emails as well. Like
Put on here
professional, friendly, things like that as well.
I'd rather just return.
Definitely.
I don't think this one's useful. This cable come off twice.
Do you have any finance plans, or do you have to have the Apple Card?
No, you can finance through your carrier. So if you have like AT&T, T-Mobile, or Verizon, you can finance
I have
through
it.
your carrier.
Yeah, so
And we can connect them and everything here, and then from there, today all you have to do is pay for taxes and fees. And if they require any down payment, and from there the rest will be returned towards your bill.
Okay. And those were the two main features that were added, right?
It's a $40 screen.
Okay.
And it comes off in one day. You gotta put on twice. You use that
All right,
machine
I'll come
here.
back and I'll do like a full out thorough review on some of these products and what I think on them,
Yeah.
and we'll talk to you. So I hope you enjoyed my vlog. I just wanted to come back to you and let you know my thoughts on innovation versus expectations. So, as I had mentioned in the video that you just saw, I have the iPhone XS and it works really good. But we know eventually phones will go obsolete after a couple of updates. So I'm deciding that I'm going to get the iPhone 16 Pro. And I want to get people's thoughts on what are they expecting from a new device. And I think when it comes to innovation, people just want the newest thing, the newest software, the newest update, the different designs, but people don't always think about the costs. Are you willing to pay the prices? And it looks like from watching, from when I went to the store, they did increase the iPhones by a lot because of the storage space. And as many of you who don't know, storage space doesn't really cost that much, but people, like big name companies, will charge you more because they know that you can't expand it once you buy it. So you have to be mindful of what storage that you decide to get. And for anyone who's getting iPhone 16 or 16 Pro, I recommend you to get at least a 256 model, only because it has the 48 megapixel camera, and plus when you're recording, it takes up a lot of room. For many of you who don't know, I use a Sony camera. I had mentioned to you in a previous video, and it shoots at 33 megapixels. It shoots in 7K but formatted to 4K. And sometimes I put it in HD because of video formatting reasons, just to save space. But I noticed that every time when I record a photo or take a picture, it takes up more room on my computer. So I'm investing in hard drives to keep putting on my computer so it doesn't get full. So just be mindful when you're deciding, when you're getting these devices, how much storage are you going to be using? And also when you're deciding if you want something more innovative, what features are you primarily going to be using? When I think of an iPhone or any type of phone, whether it's Samsung, Sony, LG, if those are still around, any type of Android phone, Motorola, and I always think that people don't always use all the new features. I feel like people always complain about, oh, they didn't update this, they didn't update that, there's not new changes here, there's no changes there. And no one's telling you to upgrade every single year. It's not really practical. Like, these are the same people who don't want to pay money for rent or pay off their student loans, but want to get a new gadget. Just think about companies like Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox. They have new products every couple of years, anywhere between 4 to 6 years. And they're working to perfect it. They're listening to all the customer complaints. They release new updates. They make sure that people understand how to use their products and much more. And I appreciate companies like Apple who have classes for people to learn how to do photography, edit their first film, how to get into coding, how to use your device for the first time, whether it's your phone, your iPad, your laptop, MacBook, it doesn't matter. And you can also download in iBooks the user's guide to learn how to use everything. And they also have tips for the month to learn how to use the newest software, how to use the certain feature more than what you're capable of using it. Well, what you think is capable. I think primarily I use my phone primarily for calling, because there's no point of having a phone if you can't make no phone call. Texting, because I'm always on the road. I need my email feature. I also need access to the internet, and I use it primarily for the camera. I don't even use Apple Arcade that much. I don't really play any video games because I just don't have the time. I just want simple apps that will help me post a lot faster, connect to my audience a little bit more. Everybody has different uses, and I think the iPhone 16 revolutionized the way that we see phones and cinematography. I feel like the iPhone 16 Pro is definitely for people who want to take their filmmaking to the next level. Instead of lugging around a Sony camera, which could be like this big and weigh about 5 to 7 pounds on top of the lenses, on top of the ground to help stabilize the device, and bring it around a tripod. Just think about it. Your phone is in your pocket, just whip it out. Just hit record, simplify it, edit, everything from your device. You got access to iMovie, LumaFusion, Final Cut Pro. You have so many assets that you can get access to, and I'm sure that Adobe has apps for you to do on your phone as well, in case you don't want to invest in an iPad. I think of companies like Kendo, where people are thinking, should I just get rid of my Kindle that I just bought a couple months ago and upgrade to the new one because it's going to be a little bit faster and just a little tiny bit of battery life a little bit better? And you have to think, is it really worth it? No, you're not going to notice the difference after a while. I don't think flipping the page a little bit faster makes a big deal. It's not going to change your reading style. Oh, we can get it in color now. I'm like, you might as well pay for an iPad mini. It's only about $400. You get access to the web. You can get better quality of images through your comic books, access to your YouTube, download apps. Everything is all on that one device, compared to paying $300 after taxes, plus your warranty, plus your case. You're spending about the same amount. So I just look at it like that. So when I think of when people are judging Apple, think about, are you willing to pay the extra prices for these various features? Are you suggesting to them what you want? Because they're only fixing minor increments that are slowly improving. Like I said, I haven't had upgraded my device for 6 years. I got the iPhone XS when it first came out. And I'm thinking, it's time for me to upgrade. I already got the Apple Watch Series 6 and they're on Series 10, but I know I don't need a new Apple Watch. This works pretty fine. But just have a realistic approach when you're judging any company regarding innovation, expectations versus reality. Oh, and let me talk about AI. I know a lot of people are complaining about Apple Intelligence coming out maybe in December or early 2025. I'd rather have a finished product than something that's like halfway put together. Everyone wants to find something to complain. Oh, the battery life isn't good. I'm like, are you on your phone 5 hours straight in a row? Are you recording all the time? How much battery life do you need if you're always on your device? Because we ran into issues with Samsung where people were getting, I think it was a Galaxy S23 or 22 that came out a couple years ago, and people were talking about how their phones were exploding because of the battery. And things like that can make a major impact as to the quality of how your device performs. And no one has time for a device exploding and them saying, it's out of our control, that's your own fault. We don't want to hear all that. We just want to have a working product. So you just want to have an open mind when you're asking for certain things. Like I had mentioned to the representative that worked at Apple, I think they're called specialists. He was talking about AI and how it can improve the way that we produce work. And some people aren't really efficient writers. There's some people that have to do meeting minutes. There are consultants. There are software engineers. There's so many different ways of how people communicate with each other. People that write grants, people that write contracts. Just imagine, instead of making things all wordy, you can have AI come in and just simplify and make it into words that people actually understand. Because you using a big vocabulary is not going to make yourself seem any more intelligent if people don't understand what you're saying. So you just have to just feel it out. Be open to new changes, new inventions, new software, and new perspectives. It's all about creating new opportunities for yourself and others, and just take things for what they are, and things will slowly improve. I remember when ChatGPT came out and people were just like, I don't really trust it. Okay, I'm gonna trust it a little bit. I'm gonna test it out. Okay, this is helping me format more ideas for my YouTube channel. This is helping me story write for a book. I'm getting inspiration, but people don't realize that you have to keep feeding it information. So you can't be like, just write me a 50-page novel. It needs to know what the topic is. It wants to know what your interest is. It needs to have some selling points. How are you going to break it down to different chapters, different mediums? Who's the target audience for? These are things that you need. It's just like building a business plan. And you have to look at that as your device. What is your selling point that is going to transform your life as to why I need to upgrade next year? Or why should I upgrade right now? Don't think because other people are going to be talking about it on YouTube, I'm just going to talk about it. Just get a device that works for you. You do not need to upgrade every single year. No one's putting a gun up to your head saying that buy this now, otherwise you're going to die. No one's telling you that. Remember, you have to pay for this in interest or in full. There are some people that are going to be on payment plans. There's going to be people that are paying in full. Some people are going to be on contracts, or people like me that get unlocked versions. I pay for my device in full, so I'm not tied to a contract. But that's just a personal choice. You can invest in a credit card and see if that works for you, but you have to pay everything off in full. But you need to be able to get rid of this idea of fantasy that you're going to have this perfect device, because our expectations are going to be different. Just think about a long time ago when they were talking about Big Brother's watching you. Just think about when Steve Jobs thought about the iPhone. Think about when Bill Gates invented the internet. All these things have transformed the way that we communicate and dialogue with each other. And I feel like people aren't being effective communicators to the way that they could be. But there's opportunities for all of us to grow and expand our knowledge, expand our growth, and just start there. So stop being so harsh on Apple, and if this phone is not for you, don't post anything about it. Just wait 2 more years. There's going to be higher resolutions. It might be a bigger screen. It might be a smaller screen. It might be a flip device. Please don't do a flip device, because phones are meant to be folded in half. I just think about the durability, and they don't last more than 2 to 3 years at most. And I know some people who's been through so many models over and over and over. And I think when it comes to warranties, you only get so many claims before they think that you're just trying to hustle and get a buck. So just have an open mind and a different perspective of how we're going to communicate with each other. Like I said, and like in that video, you can see my real impressions. I have not upgraded in 6 years, and that's a big thing. I remember when I was younger, and I used to upgrade every single year. I went from the Sidekick to the Blackberries to the iPhones to the Nokia Lumia 920s. I had so many phones, the Google One, so many different devices. I have went from LG to Danger to Stripe to BlackBerry to Apple to Microsoft. The list can continue. I spent over about $10,000 on phones, so I can tell you when something's not worth it. And back then, phones were easy accessible. When we thought phones were expensive, we thought $500. And I could make that in a week or two, back then. But it's just like, you just have to just think things out before you start talking and start passing judgment. Just think about, can you create this? It's the same thing with hair products, the same thing with candles, the same thing with any electronic, it's the same thing with yourself. You're always trying to invent new ways to be better. You're not the same person that you were, who you were a day ago. You're not the same person that you were a year ago. You're not the same person that you were as a child. You have grown and developed. And I have seen this transform over so many decades. People are blaming on Tim Cooks, but Tim Cooks is the one that made this company a $1 trillion company. It is one of the largest computer companies in the world, electronic computer company in the world. And just think of it just like that. You have to be open to changes and new environments. So I encourage you to do your due diligence before passing judgment. Test out different things. If you don't like Apple because they're not innovating enough, go to Android. Go to Samsung. Go to OnePlus Ones or the Razors. There's so many different devices that are out there. Even PlayStation had a phone at one point. Everybody's trying to be something creative. They're just listening to what you want. But we're also just think of me as a business person talking to you, and you're asking me to innovate all the time. People aren't thinking about the cost. People aren't thinking about shipping. People aren't thinking about how many people it requires in a team to develop this one device. You don't think about how many robots that you have to push this out a little bit faster, and you have to think about the technicians. You got to think about the different mechanics that go into it. You got to think about the time. And we're only giving them about 10 months to test out all these things before they release it out to these influencers. or creatives or working professionals to test out to see what little micro changes that they need. And then they have to push it out to the developers so they can create apps to work on these new devices because it's new software, new hardware. Everything works completely different. So when you pass judgment, just think innovation versus reality, and also think about your budget. Is innovation really necessary? Because we're always innovating. They have made major changes. It might seem micro because you had an iPhone 15 Pro, but like I said, no, it's telling you to upgrade every year. It could be a pass for the next 3 or 4 years. Your phone will still work. But unless if they send an update to your phone saying this is going to be obsolete, this is going to slow down your device, don't do it. Me personally, I'm not gonna update my iPhone XS. I'm gonna wait until I get my iPhone 16 Pro and test out the new features and see how everything works. I'm still gonna be using my XS for one of my cameras, use it for multicam, save some time, save some money, instead of having to invest in videographers and filmmakers and photographers. I can do everything on that device. I'm just trying to make sure that my load of having to carry things is a lot simplified. I want to feel like a minimalist. I shouldn't have to lug around a digital camera, an iPad, a computer, a phone. It's just so much stuff. My Kindle. It's just so much stuff to carry around. I want everything simplified. Got the Kindle on the phone, got the photography on the phone, got the video on the phone, can call on the phone, can text on the phone, can do the internet on the phone. You can do so much. Now, my question for you is, what would you want them to innovate on, and are you willing to pay the price? So follow me on Instagram and TikTok at BperryFilms, YouTube, the BperryFilms Experience, and let me know what your thoughts are about this video and what are you expecting for the newest updates that are coming up. Are you excited for AI? I am. I can't wait to get this phone in the next couple weeks and test it out. And thank you.